So I've been thinking to replace this Louis Vuitton Totally MM with this. What do you think? Let's do some one in, one out, shall we? I've had this Louis Vuitton Totally MM for about 5 years now, and in the first 2 years, this was one of my most worn designer bags. At that point, I was doing a postgraduate course and I carried this bag all the time to school. I've always said, this is an amazing tote bag. First of all, the Damier Ebene canvas is so durable and water resistant. Secondly, there's also a zipper. So unlike the Louis Vuitton Never Full, you'll be sure your things will always stay in the bag. There are also 2 outside pockets, which are really good for things like your keys, phone, and maybe even a water bottle. This bag also comes with a few pockets on the inside, which are perfect for keeping things organized. Now you might ask, why would you want to sell it then if this is so perfect? Well, the simple answer is, I've not been using this bag in the last 2 years, and now prefer not to carry such a high profile bag to work, and outside work, I really don't carry that much. While this could actually make a wonderful travel bag, I genuinely feel quite conscious about displaying Louis Vuitton monogram on such a big scale. It might just be me overthinking, but I just prefer to stay away from certain kind of attention at certain settings. So yes, I'm thinking to let this bag go, and I'll make sure to leave some information in the description box if any of you are interested. To replace the Louis Vuitton Totally MM, I'm thinking to get this tote bag from Bellroy. This is a brand I've been checking out since the beginning of this year. Their pieces are really practical, minimalistic, and low-key. This one is a very plain tote bag and the material is waterproof, but that's not it. What I like the most about this bag is the inside. As you can see, there are so many padded compartments. I mean, isn't it amazing to be able to keep your water bottle upright, store your electronic gadgets safely, and still have plenty of room for other things. And if you need quick access to your phone, there's also a zip outside pocket for that. Let me know if you think the same, but I feel like this bag is a very low-key version of the Louis Vuitton Totally MM, but it's also a lot more practical, wearable, and worry-free. Anyway, please share your thoughts down below. Do you think I'm doing the right thing by selling this Louis Vuitton Totally MM and replacing it with the Bellroy tote bag? Moving on to jewelry, I've been thinking to sell this Hermes Kelly dog bracelet. The lizard skin is really durable and is in this beautiful brown color, which by the way goes perfectly with the rose gold hardware. There are 3 settings on this bracelet, but I usually only wear it on the outside setting because I think it looks the best that way. In fact, I think I might just put this on just so you can have a look. Bear with me. There you are. This is how the bracelet looks on me. Now, I used to have a bit of an addiction for the Hermes leather bracelets, which is why I have a small collection of them, but I feel like I now don't tend to reach for them as much as I did. I also realized I personally prefer the Hermes CDC bracelets over everything else, so I decided maybe it's time for downsizing. And just for your reference, my wrist measures about 16 centimeters and this bracelet is about 18.5. Again, I'll make sure to leave some information down below. Now, I'm not thinking to replace this Hermes bracelet with another bracelet, but I have been secretly looking at the new Cartier Love Hoop earring in white gold and with diamond pave. This is sold individually, but I'm sure you can buy them in pair if you wish. To be honest, I hadn't been very excited about Cartier's new designs in a long time, but this earring really speaks to me. This is quite a small earring, but I don't think it will go unnoticed. The diamond pave gives the earring so much sparkle, and I think it complements the size of the earring perfectly. I mean, if the earring was a little bit bigger, it might just stand out a little bit too much in my opinion. I personally think this earring is lovely the way it is because it's dainty and wearable, but at the same time also a very subtle statement piece. I'm quite drawn to this new Cartier Love earring, but please let me know if you think it's a good idea. Next are shoes, and I am thinking to apply the one in one out rule, and the shoes I'm thinking to sell are these Valentino Rockstar flats. These fit a little bit bigger. I'm usually a size 37 and I got these in 36 and a half and they fit me very nicely. I've had these shoes for about 5 years and I probably wore them less than 10 times, if not 5. To be fair, they are very comfy, but burgundy is just not my color. My wardrobe is generally quite neutral and I just really struggle to pair these shoes with anything. But I think these should work quite well for people who welcome more colors in their wardrobes. Moving on to the shoes I've been eyeing on, and they are not the Gucci loafers or the Christian Louboutins, but the Birkenstocks. Now, I sometimes hear comments saying Birkenstocks are ugly. I'm not sure if I share the same sentiment because some of their new designs are actually really adorable. Besides, they just look so comfortable, like they are built for walking first and fashion only comes second, which to be honest is not a bad idea when it comes to footwear in my opinion. I'm not sure if you can relate to this, but I've personally gone on too many trips wearing nice looking but very blistering shoes, and each time I just wish I had put on something a little bit more comfy. I mean, when your feet are hurting, the last thing you will care about is looking nice. But anyway, I think you get the idea. So I've been looking at these Birkenstock Madrid big buckle sandals. They look a bit more feminine than the classic two-strap Birkenstock, but still quite casual. These cost about £90, so they are relatively cheaper compared to designer shoes. I currently only have one pair of going out sandals, which are the Hermes Oran sandals, so I guess it's not excessive to add another pair, but I'm kind of just beating myself up because I did promise myself at the beginning of the year to not purchase any more shoes. So my answer to this is to stick to the one in one out rule. So if I can manage to sell the Valentino shoes, then I'll purchase the Birkenstocks. The next one is the Louis Vuitton classic card holder. This is something I've been going back and forth about buying for a long time. It's one of those situations where I'm constantly debating between, yes, that's the one, and do I really need it? Now, the reason I'm even thinking about buying a card holder is because I now don't carry cash, so I just need something really small to carry my driving license and my one credit card. I know a lot of luxury brands do very similar designs, but I'm eyeing on the Louis Vuitton one because the canvas is so durable. To be honest, I don't see myself buying a Louis Vuitton monogram bag anytime soon, but I do think the material is great for small leather good pieces. Sometimes I even tell myself, just buy the card holder and stop agonizing over this long-standing dilemma. But the minimalist part of me says I should practice the one in, one out rule. I know I've asked you guys before, but I'm still contemplating if I should sell this Chanel classic card holder and replace it with the Louis Vuitton one. Moving on to some daily practical items I've been checking out. The first one is a raincoat from a brand called Hem. I believe it's a Swedish brand and they do some amazing waterproof pieces. I'm not sure about you, but I never associated raincoats with looking nice, which I guess is why I still don't have one, even though it rains so much here. Anyway, I've been checking out the raincoats from Hem, and I think they look reasonably fashionable as far as raincoats are concerned. They cost about £200 each, so it's quite a bit of investment for a raincoat, but I'm quite sure I'll make my money's worth in no time. I've also been thinking about getting a vest or a gilet. I do have a shearling gilet from Karl Donahue, which I really love, but it is a bit more dressy, so I'm thinking to get something a bit more casual, and something that I can just wear to the park and not have to worry about it getting wet or dirty. I'm also looking for something that's fairly simple, low-key, and ideally without a big logo. One of the pieces I'm looking at is from Woolrich. The padding is made of 90% down and 10% feather, so I'm sure it will keep me nice and warm. I also like that this one is a little bit longer, but I'm not too sure about the very accentuated waistline. The other one I'm looking at is from Uniqlo. This one is made of the same materials but is substantially cheaper. However, it just looks a little bit too short for me. I don't know, I just wish I could just blend the two together, because my ideal vest would be one that is a little bit longer and also not too fitting. If you have any good suggestions, please share them down below. As you can see, my wish list is not strictly designer brands, but that's how my wardrobe has always been anyway. I really don't think we should feel obliged to dress ourselves in designer brands from head to toe. Also, with everything I buy now, practicality comes first. The key question I always ask myself is, will I make use of it? Because the last thing I want is to accumulate clutters. I will also appreciate if you can share your thought about this. Do you think my one in, one out plan is a sensible one? Or am I being a bit too restrictive? If you're new here, my name is Eileen, and this channel is all about luxury minimalism and intentional spending. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the comment section.
But why does it feel like home isn't home? I've been in this war too long. It's in